morning.
Y buenos dias. Welcome to L.A.M.P
The Lawrence and Mia's podcast.
Hey y'all.
How y'all feel? We're back again.
Yes.
On this wonderful, gloomy day in Atlanta. It's gloomy out here.
Every once in a while.
Raining, and it's early morning Tuesday. As always, when we drop these episodes, remember that we got to get that in your heads to remember every Tuesday. 10 o'clock. Tune in. We're available. New episodes.
Yes. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Party Savers 101, now on YouTube, all of that.
What? We there. I mean, we everywhere, baby.
Yes.
And it's right there, so you can follow us on Instagram. I know, that's where you got it. The L.A.M.P Podcast. Do it, follow us. Stay up to date with what we got going on.
Yes.
You know, we always give y'all a little update of what's going on. Did you do anything this weekend, Mia? I did a few things.
Actually, no. I actually had a Sunday free, and I was very Netflix lazy.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I didn't. My weekend was actually busy. I was in 3 different cities and performing in 3 different. Well, I went to 3 different cities and performed in each one.
Nice.
So I went from Kansas City to Chicago, back to Atlanta, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Nice.
So I had a very, very busy weekend, full of jokes and good times.
Yeah, definitely.
I was very tired afterwards. I didn't realize how much
takes a lot of energy.
Flying really, I usually fly and then 3 days and then I fly again. But this was back and then getting up the next morning, packing, getting on next. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for that all the time.
You could do it just 3 days a week and then have the rest of the week to
I don't like it.
You know.
I just don't like. I don't like it. I'm not used to, because I'm a very clean person. I'm clean, so I'm just thinking about all those germs and all those different airports.
You're tripping.
I know.
He's tripping.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway.
I'm like that. I'm
carry your sanitizer, some Clorox wipes, or whatever. You be alright.
It was very like every time I go on the airplane, I always wash the clothes that I wore on the plane.
Right. No, I feel you. I'm like that with a lot of things. Even when I would be on, let's say the subway in Philly, if there was for whatever reason I had to take the train or whatever the case may be, those clothes I would have to put aside and instantly wash. Yeah, I just sorry.
And that's what I felt. And
I love you, Philly, but
and I had to wear that outfit for 3 days, my airplane clothes.
You want the same one on the plane because you don't want to dirty. I get it.
I basically.
This is how crazy we think, right?
I had my airplane outfit.
I feel you. I feel you.
So I felt dirty at the end of that 3-day trip.
Well, you showered.
Yes.
And now he's here.
Yes. We're about to get busy.
Yeah.
So she was sitting being lazy, and I was out in the world traveling and telling jokes.
I was chilling.
Good. We actually do have our L.A.M.P Podcast Instagram up.
Yes.
It's up and rolling, so please make sure y'all follow us on that. What is it again?
At the L.A.M.P Podcast. I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna need you to read too.
I got a lot. How can I read it in this way?
Look, go like this.
Okay, well, at the L.A.M.P Podcast, please follow us and stay up to date with what we got going on.
Yeah.
So she didn't do that. What was a big thing over the weekend was the Never Land.
Yes, the documentary that
we're talking Michael Jackson and R. Kelly today.
Yeah, as everyone is. It's just the thing that everyone's talking about.
Yes.
We actually had a discussion about it just because neither one of us watched it.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
I didn't get the chance.
I didn't watch the R. Kelly one. I didn't watch this one.
Me neither.
And my reason is because there's nothing that's going to change my mind about the situation. My thing is that these allegations and these, whatever they're saying these people done, we knew this 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
So just because they're rehashing it up, what is the big uproar about? We already knew.
Different. I think that's the case with R. Kelly. We definitely already knew. I stopped supporting R. Kelly, I don't even know how many years ago. So I'm happy that he's now being held accountable, I guess you could say, even though someone always bails him out. And I don't even understand that. But anyway, I feel like for that, yeah, we all already knew, right? But with the After Neverland and Michael Jackson, these are accusers that years ago testified that he did not do anything, and now they're coming back and changing their testimony, basically. And from what I understand, within law, you are allowed to change it when it comes to sexual abuse as a child, right? You are allowed to change that, because I saw some people talking about, isn't that perjury and blah, blah, blah. And technically, when it comes to sexual abuse, you are allowed to change your mind.
I know that.
Yeah, so that's the difference. And there's a lot of, there's a whole lot going on. I mean, the one gentleman, I think it was Wade, that had pitched to work for Michael for the This Is It tour. These are just things that I've read online. Wanted to work for him and different things after the trial way back, I think 2005. So the argument that people have is, if Michael did molest you, why were you then years later, one, you said that he didn't, two, you wanted to work for him again, and all of these things did not pan out, and now he's dead and cannot.
I mean, that is Michael Jackson. I mean, I just want to put that out there. You know what I mean? I just gotta let some things go. That's Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? If I had the opportunity to work with Mike, and Mike touched my ass, I might just.
You know what? This is the comedian.
I'm just being real. I don't know if I might be like, all right, it's cool. You get a pass. 'Cause that's Mike. You know
No.
That's Mike, man.
No.
That's Michael Jackson at the end of the day. I don't care what anybody say. It's Michael Jackson. If Michael Jackson rubbed up against my ass, I probably wouldn't say nothing if Mike would let me work with Michael Jackson. I'm sorry. I'm just being totally honest. And I just feel that's what he did. He was like, look, this is it. This is the last tour. Mm-hmm. The last one.
Yeah. I
can look past.
I'm not gonna say I would look past. I wouldn't look past. I just think that in these particular situations, and it's hard to speak on it when I didn't actually watch it, but I just think in general what rings a bell to me or just comes off kind of strange is that initially you said he didn't, and I find it strange that now that the man is gone and unable to defend himself or say anything, that you would come out and say this then, even though I do understand when people are violated and sexually molested and things of that nature, there's a lot of healing that comes from being able to tell your truth. So if it is true, then healing comes from that. But I don't know, do you necessarily need to tell your truth to the entire world? I mean, I don't know.
I just really don't understand. I don't understand it, the uproar. Like for me, I'm a very transparent person. I'm very black and white. There's no middle ground with me. If we knew in back in the day, like personally, I'm not letting my kids sleep in the bed with no grown man. Sorry, right. I don't care who would, I don't care if it's Mike. I don't give a fuck. Michael Jordan, Tyson. I don't give a shit what Mike it is. Yeah. I'm not allowing my child to sleep in the bed with a grown man.
Yep.
So that's one thing. Secondly, this is, even if we've known about these allegations, I just don't like people getting upset over something that we already knew.
Right.
Like that is my main gripe about this R. Kelly thing, about this Michael Jackson thing, about anything that we already knew and you bring it back up. Yeah. We already know Mike was strange, he was weird. My thing is, if it's any type of inkling that he did abuse these kids, I'm not allowed, like he did to me. Like, that's my thing. Like, if it's a hint of something going on that's fishy, like it's something that was there, something that was inappropriate that no grown man should be doing with another kid, period. Right. So we know that, we know this. So what's the point of getting upset again? What's the point of saying we're not going to listen to Michael Jackson music? Oh my God, he was such an evil person. Like if he did it or he didn't, we already knew this happened. And then everybody because honestly for me, I just feel like people just want something to talk about. Yeah. People want to have that conversation and that's popular, that's drawing attention to them. Like I don't really think people's focus is the actual situation. It's more so bringing attention to whatever they're social media page is or whatever their outlet for information is, because this is what everybody's talking about. So now we're going to bring you towards that. And that's how I feel about the situation. Same thing with R. Kelly. Like, how long? This came out in 2000. 2000, I actually looked it up. 2000, that sex tape came out. So for 20 years, we've known that R. Kelly was a pervert. We know that.
What boggles my mind is that we, as a woman anyway, I know it's different, I don't know for a man different, but as a woman, we've been known this, right? And over the years, still seeing women just gravitate towards him, like concerts and things, like yelling, like, you know, pandemonium, like just like, oh my God, this. And my thing is, in my brain, I'm thinking, but as a woman, he ain't singing to me. Like,
I get it, but that boy can't sing.
I'm not saying he can't sing, but at that point, that, to me, that fantasy in your brain as a woman looking at this man, it would be, I would think it would be diminished, because he's not looking at you, he's looking at your daughter. You know what I mean?
That is true. But
like, why are you still so like, oh my God, like, really?
But I do, like, because I kind of can relate to what, I'm not saying we're in the same boat, but I understand where that comes from. Being an entertainer, sometimes women, or not women, just people, period, are obsessed with the fact that you're on stage and you're controlling the audience. So some women, absolutely, that is sexy. So it doesn't matter what you've done, what you did, the fact that they're seeing you on stage in this element of singing or rapping, telling jokes, whatever it is. Some people are really infatuated with the preachers, all that. They are infatuated with you being able to control the masses with the talent that you have. Right. If it's singing, rapping, preaching, you know, public speaking, being a poet, some women just attracted to that. So I understand that part where, you know, even though we know he did this shit, I can curse. You can curse. I was about to say, ooh, my bad. It's my podcast. I can say what I want to say. Go ahead. But some people are infatuated with that, and I understand that. So, you know, even with knowing the fact that he is this guy who did these horrible things, some people look past it and just want to hear him sing. Like, I'm one of them people that can do that. I can separate the artist from what he did. It was no problem. I can play an R. Kelly song and not think one thing about what he did to somebody. I can play a Michael Jackson song, and I don't want to steer this argument just to art artists, what I mean by black artists, because there's white people out there who do the same thing, and I can watch, you know. Yeah,
we were just talking about that online too. Like they were talking about Elvis. I think when he met the wife, she was 14. Yeah, like, you know. So I don't want it to be. We all know about Harvey.
Yeah, I don't want it to be just to that. Like, I can still watch the movies without no problem. You know, that's just how I am. I don't understand why everybody else can't separate what the person did today.
You know what it is? I think it's because people don't want to separate it. Well, I know with R. Kelly, I did separate it. Like, I remember when everything was happening, he was going on tour, the Best Friends tour with Jay-Z, right? Best of both worlds. Best friend. Jay like, no. No, Jay like, no.
Snap that.
Best of both worlds. So the tour dates were coming out, and I really wanted to see Jay at the time. Like, I was like, oh, I'd love to go see Jay, right? But I didn't want to support R. Kelly. So I didn't buy the tickets. But then by the time the tour date got to Philly, then it became Jay-Z and Friends because the tour broke up. So then I went. But I think the thing with people not being able to separate sometimes is that you don't want to be someone that is contributing to their livelihood financially. You know what I mean? So when it comes to buying their music, buying the concert ticket, purchasing this ticket to this movie with this, you know, person, you don't want to contribute to their well-being and them being able to live this life and be, you know, you're helping an R. Kelly, allegedly, right? You're helping an R. Kelly be the powerful individual that he is and get away with these things.
I don't even pay to go to movies.
See,
anyway, I don't pay to go to movies.
Yo,
I don't pay.
We have a whole conversation about that. Okay, never mind.
I don't pay to go to movies. I don't pay for music.
How would you feel if, okay, this is the same thing because comedians do this, and I saw someone do this in Philly, actually, a comedy show I went to, and the comedian literally stopped and was like, I won't continue the show until you stop this. Someone would try to put him on Facebook Live the entire show.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that.
But that's the same thing.
What's the same thing? We're not paying to go to the movies?
I'm saying if you, because you're talking about what? Just seeing it online, like streaming it? Or
No, I'll just sneak in.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. You're taking away from that person's income that has worked, however hard they have worked for this thing. See, he don't want to think about that deeply. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I just look at it like I ain't trying to pay $14.50 to go.
But you want somebody to pay $20 to come see you and stand up.
Yes.
That's just foul.
But that's two different levels.
It is not.
First of all, people that get paid for movies, they get paid up front. They don't pay by what they make from the sales. Let's get that right. So they already got their check. If you go see a movie with Kevin Hart gets his $20 million before he even starts to tape that movie, and he's done. So whatever you make it, they do the box office for the numbers to say my movie was the number one. But as for the income, like with me, if I do a comedy show, I get paid before I do on stage. So if 30 people show up, 3 people or 300, I'm gonna get the same amount of money. Do I want to perform in front of a lot of people? Of course. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna get paid to do that. So I mean, I'm just being cheap. You know, I'm broke, so I gotta sneak into the movie theater as best I can. You know, hit me.
That was so fun when I was little, though.
I do it.
With the bag of candy. Shout out to one of my aunts. I won't put her out there, but yes, in her purse, all the stuff,
ladies,
and we would go.
If you ain't got no pocketbook, you can't roll with me to the movies. I tell you that right now. If you can't put a whole Chick-fil-A meal in your bag.
I do feel like the movie theater stuff is way too expensive. I don't mind buying a ticket to a movie. I don't know. I guess as that's the actress in me. Like I will pay the ticket, no problem. But the price of the concession stands is crazy.
Yeah, I ain't doing
like I'm like really.
But I don't really think. I mean, I get it. I get where people coming from, where they say they don't want to support them, but. I mean, these allegations has been, like I said before, they have been said before, they've been going on for a long time, so it's nothing new. There's no reason to get re-upset about the situation.
That's how I felt too. I was real mad. Like when the R. Kelly thing came out, I was real mad. I was like, man, we've been on this, why people getting so mad? But then I thought to myself, you know what? If it opened other people's eyes because they wanted to turn a blind eye all these years, and if this opened more eyes, then
but
job well done.
And this I might get a lot of flack for this, but when are we going to hold the women accountable for their situation? Because I look at it. Because I look at it different.
Hold on.
No, I have to say it because, all right, at what age is it that you understand that you can say no? Like I don't know. My thing is, I don't know if he's holding these women.
I think
hostage.
at this point, the manipulation is so far in that they may be in their 20s now, and you're looking at this grown woman is choosing to stay, but the manipulation started at 14, 15. It's so far in.
I don't know, Art, because I can only say this because I'm gonna relate this to a joke that Dave Chappelle did when he said that R. Kelly was dating that young girl and he peed on her. Right? He said, at what age do you understand that peeing on you is not something that you can do? He said, I was telling jokes at 13, 12, I knew what pee was. So if someone started peeing on you in front of the crowd, you want to move up the fucking way. So the fact that R. Kelly is peeing on you, you don't see that that's not something that's normal? I don't get 13, 14, like you should know that a grown man peeing on you is not something that's normal. And if you're allowing that to happen, something is wrong.
Something's definitely wrong.
So, I don't know.
Something's definitely wrong. If you're allowing that to happen at 13, at whatever that young age is, there's definitely something wrong. And I mean, that's the point though. There's something wrong. He is doing this to these young girls because they are immature in their mind at a state where he can actually get them to think this is an okay thing and this is what love is, this is what intimacy and whatever is in this room between you and I, because they're so young and don't know that that's not what it is.
He got game. I can't get a chick to do nothing.
You know what?
We
gonna end this conversation because he's about to get on my nerves.
I can't get a female to make me a turkey and cheese sandwich. Better yet, let me pee on it. So I don't know what's going on out here. I don't know what type of game I got out here in the streets.
Stay on.
No, but I don't know, man. I just don't. Like I said, I don't like talking about old subjects. They already happened. We already know. I don't understand why we're getting upset. I just think, like I said, it's more of a attention thing for, and they not. I don't really think they care actually about the R. Kelly situation. They more care so about the topic and what attention they can get from talking about the topic. That's how I feel.
Okay, I can see what you're saying as far as the social media aspect, but there are a
Not
lot
even
of
that,
people.
just take the interview for instance, the whole Gail thing with R. Kelly and that. Like, why interview him? You already know he did what he did. That was nothing to do but to get attention to Gail and to the own network. Because if you know R. Kelly already did these things, we know we've seen a tape. We've seen a tape.
I don't know why he even did the interview.
Like, we saw it.
Why did he do it?
We know he did this. Why are you giving him another outlet to prove his innocence?
Yeah, that was definitely for ratings, absolutely. But as far as like why people care, I think there is a huge community of individuals, women and men, that do care about the sexual abuse that is happening to young girls or even young boys within our country, within society, and the world. So there's definitely people that care on a deeper scale. The interview, that's for ratings. You know, it's. But shout out to Gail because I love to hold Demeanor.
Wasn't she?
Like,
she said, Robert. That was the coolest Robert I've ever heard in my life.
Yo, she killed that.
Robert.
Hey, Gail.
That was dope. I gotta give it to her. Man. But let us know what you feel. Let us know how you feel. Because I know y'all got an opinion. Everybody got an opinion.
Yeah.
So let us know, man. You can hit us up on the L.A.M.P Podcast on Instagram. Inbox us. comment on the actual podcast.
Yes.
On
YouTube, you can leave comments and stuff.
You can comment on Anchor, iTunes. You can leave comments there too and let us know. We definitely will be checking them, man.
Yes.
So let us know how you feel. And this has been another episode of the L.A.M.P Podcast with me and my wonderful co-host, Miss
Mia Mendez.
Yeah. So see y'all again next Tuesday.